What if the darkest room in your home was already the right place for some of the most beautiful plants you can grow? Garden centers put any plant on a shelf without asking what light your home gets. That is why most plants placed in dim rooms fade. The problem was never the room, it was the plant. Number 10 on this list grows on under 2% of normal sunlight, less than what filters through a closed curtain on a cloudy day. Here are 10 plants built for the dark. Number 1. Pothos. Pothos keeps its heart-shaped leaves a deep, glossy green in light that would leave most plants pale and dropping leaves within weeks. The plant traces back to the rainforest floor of the Solomon Islands, where a dense canopy soaked up almost all the sunlight before it reached the ground. Thousands of years of growing in that shade are still wired into it. A cup of water every 10 days is all it asks for. No fertilizer, no misting, no pruning. Set it on a tall bookshelf or in a hanging pot above a dim hallway with no window nearby, and the vines spill down for years, turning a plain wall into something worth looking at. Number 2. Peace lily. Peace lily is one of the few houseplants that tells you exactly when it needs water. When it runs dry, the leaves droop. Not subtly. They go soft and hang down where you can see it across the room. Water it, and they lift back up within a few hours. There is no schedule to follow. The plant keeps its own. In the rainforests of Central America, where it grows wild, the canopy holds the forest floor in near constant shade, and the plant still pushes out tall white flowers in that same dim light indoors. Put it in a north-facing bedroom or a corner that gets no direct light. One more thing worth knowing, peace lily prefers slightly humid air, which makes a shaded bathroom one of the best spots in the house for it. Number 3. ZZ plant. ZZ plant is the easiest plant on this list to forget about, and that works in your favor. 2 or 3 weeks with no water does it no harm. The reason sits below the soil. ZZ plant keeps water in thick, fleshy rhizomes underground, the same trick a cactus uses in its trunk. Those rhizomes developed across long stretches of dry, shaded woodland in East Africa, and they behave the same way on a shelf in your home. Stand it in a dim bathroom or a shaded office corner. The leaves are glossy enough to catch and bounce back what little light reaches them, lifting the space slightly, without a single lamp. Number 4. Heartleaf philodendron. Heartleaf philodendron grows in low light and keeps going without being asked. A weekly watering covers it. No fertilizer, no pruning, no rooting hormone. Hang it on a dim wall, let it trail off a tall shelf, or run it across the top of a doorframe. The vines stretch further every month and soften every hard edge they reach. Here's the part most people never use. Snip a single stem, drop it in a glass of water on any side table, and it roots into a new plant within 2 weeks. One plant in a shaded hallway turns into 2 or 3 without spending a thing. Number 5. Cast iron plant. The name is not a metaphor. It is a description. Cast iron plant shrugs off drafty hallways, unheated guest rooms, and shaded stairwells where the temperature drops and no one remembers to water it. A deep soak every 10 to 14 days keeps it going. It grew up in the undergrowth of East Asian forests, where the forest floor stayed dark, cold, and unpredictable, so none of that phases it indoors. The arching deep green leaves fill empty floor space with no stand, no trellis, and no need for a bright corner. If there is a spot in your home that feels too rough for any plant, this is the plant for it. 5 inches. Number 10 is still ahead, and it runs on less light than anything else here. Less than a closed curtain on a cloudy day. We are almost there. Number 6. Chinese evergreen. Most plants with patterned leaves need bright light to hold those patterns. Push them into shade and the color washes out. Chinese evergreen, also sold as aglaonema, is the exception, and there is one rule that decides it. Reach for the silver and green marbled varieties. Those are the ones built for deep shade, and they keep their markings in light where other patterned plants fade. The pink and red varieties are the opposite. They look like they should be tougher, but they need noticeably more light to stay vivid, so they are the wrong pick for a dark room. The plant grows wild across the shaded floors of Southeast Asian forests, where little light gets through the canopy, which is why the marbled types ask for so little indoors. A slow watering once a week keeps the leaves looking painted. Set it on a side table in a dim living room. The patterned leaves turn a forgettable corner into the most interesting spot in the room, and the marbled varieties do it on almost nothing. Number 7. Boston Fern. Most ferns want humidity and indirect light. Boston Fern goes one step further. It belongs in deep shade. The feathery fronds fill heavily shaded spaces with soft, layered green that shifts a little in any moving air. Bright light does not just go unused here. It scorches the fronds. The plant was shaped on dim tropical forest floors, so shade is not something it puts up with. It is the condition it was built for. Water it 2 or 3 times a week and keep the air humid, either in a shaded bathroom or near a humidifier if your home runs dry. Hang it above a bathtub and the fronds fan out and drink in the steam, staying full with no extra effort from you. Number 8. Snake plant. Snake plant stands straight and holds its shape in low light with no staking, no trellis, and no help from you. It grew up on the rocky, shaded ground of West Africa, where water was scarce and the light was weak. 2 adaptations from that came along for the ride. First, the leaves store water from tip to base, the same way a cactus does, so they stay firm and upright for months between drinks. Second, the plant breathes at night. Most plants open the tiny pores on their leaves during the day, which costs them water in the heat. Snake plant keeps those pores shut until after dark, when the air is cooler and far less water escapes. Put the 2 together, and you have a plant that can go a long time on very little, which is exactly what you want in a shaded bedroom or a dim entryway. Number 9. Parlor palm. Most people assume palms need full tropical sun. Parlor palm built its whole reputation on proving that wrong. The thin, arching fronds hold their green all year in shaded living rooms and dim hallway corners, where a palm has no business surviving. It comes from the understory of southern Mexico's forests, growing under taller trees that strain out most of the sunlight before it lands. A slow watering every 7 to 10 days keeps it happy. Use a tall, narrow pot. It reads like a small indoor tree while taking up almost no floor space, which makes it one of the easiest ways to bring height and a tropical feel into a dim room. Number 10. Calathea. Under 2% of normal sunlight. That is the number. Picture it this way. Stand in a room with the curtains drawn on a cloudy day. That faint, diffused glow coming through the fabric is the light level Calathea does not just tolerate, but was built around. Its home is the deep floor of the Amazon rainforest, where the canopy is so thick that barely any direct light ever reaches the ground. The leaves come painted in dark green, cream, and burgundy, in patterns that look illustrated rather than grown. A weekly watering with filtered water is enough. A bit of humidity helps, which makes a shaded bathroom the ideal home for it. The room does not need to change. Calathea slots into the darkest corner you have and looks like it belongs there. 10 plants, every one of them built for the kind of dim corner most people give up on. The darkest spot in your home was never the problem. It was always the plant standing in it.